Happiest of Sunday evenings, Buckeye Nation, and all of those who despise the team up north. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here having a great time. Listen, do me a favor, hit that like button. Hit that now, subscribe. Once again, thank you guys for helping us hit our goal. We obliterated it. We're heading to our next goal of 40K. We're going to get to that quickly. So do us a favor, subscribe. If you're a podcast type person, go subscribe to Apple Podcasts. All right. Takes a couple seconds. Knock that out. We appreciate you greatly. We're going to be talking about that team up north doing what they do. Cheating. We don't put nothing past them. Okay. They don't have the benefit of the doubt. We're going to get into it, and we have a very special guest to help us dive into it. But also, remember, when you guys send your wonderful super chats, and they've been absolutely fire for game week, and I expect more today. Remember, helps to go towards the pay it forward, which is our military and our first responders. We're going to look out for them because they always look out for us. I'm going to bring in the good brother, Nevada Buck. What's up, sir? How you feeling on this glorious 27-9 weekend?
Oh man, I can't tell you how much fun I've been having the last 24 hours. Been on the message board pretty much nonstop. Our message board is going crazy. That's not
Crazy.
hyperbole, but I am just like reveling in this wonderful victory. Um, you just don't you forget how good it feels when this happens, and in the big scheme of things, the game's really it really isn't all that meaningful in terms of the overall goal and the national championship and things like that. But I forgot how good it feels to just make those guys miserable and making sure that they're unhappy. Their unhappiness just makes me so happy. And I know that makes me a bad person. I just want to say right now that I'm okay with that. I really am okay with that because I have been absorbing every bit of Michigan thing that I can, like reading their forums, reading their stuff, just watching them just wallow in their misery right now. And it makes me so happy. It's like the birth of another child, and I'm just so absolutely happy. So I just don't even know. I'm not even sure how to describe it other than just very very happy and yeah, so thank you, Beamos. Yes, I'm having a wonderful day. And you, are you having a wonderful day?
Oh, man. Nevada, listen, man. You're exactly right. It's one of those things where there's genuine happiness and joy that comes from seeing those idiots, their fan base, worst fan base in sports. Okay. So it's like it's pleasing to your soul when you beat them, and not only beat them, but just absolutely choke them out in their own crib, in the big blouse, choke them out and using their game to choke them out in a glorious winter wonderland atmosphere. It was just chef's kiss. But you're right. You're reminded of it when you're in it. When it happens again, it's just like, yo, inject this into my veins. Because yes, y'all, national championships are greater. They matter more. That's true. But we never said this wasn't important. We just said it's just not as important as a natty, which is still facts. But I tell you what, man, after this 5 in a row loading and beginning of the season takes from the Steve Diaces, the Portnoys, all these Team Up North podcasters predicting a fifth loss in a row and them going to the playoffs and Ohio State with multiple losses and blah, 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 blah. And even having a podcaster from the Team Up North on recently fix his lips. No offense to this dude. He seems like a great guy. 95% confidence is what he told us on this platform the other day, y'all. This is Wolverine Nation. This is who they are. This levels of delusion. So listen, I'm absolutely basking in it, Nevada. Social media is beautiful right now. Buckeye Scoop Board is beautiful right now. If you want to just indulge, go to the MGO blog board. Go to the MGO blog board. It's a free board, and just get some popcorn and your favorite beverage and just sit back and just scroll through the thread. It is glorious, Nevada.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing, and it's the irony of the whole thing is, we saw everything about Michigan kind of played out. We saw the thuggery, the buffoonery, the nonsense, the trying to throwing themselves on the ground to try to draw penalties, the
Flop.
headbutting to the officials, everything. And then before the game, we had gone. You and I had done a podcast on this, and we had done a thread on this in Buckeye Scoop. We said, look, we have it on very good authority that Ohio State is very concerned about their helmet communications up in Michigan. And you and I interpreted, at least I can say speak for me, I
Yeah.
interpreted it as they were worried about them being intercepted. They were worried about, the communications being intercepted.
Right.
And then lo and behold, in the middle of the game, Ohio State's helmet communications go out. All communication with the boxers goes out. And Julian's saying, instead of having the signals radioed into him via his headset, has to run over to the sideline every play and get them verbally from Ryan Day. That's what we were dealing with in terms of, so like, this actually happened. Michigan cheating again, and I think B when it happened, I was just like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what's going on. This was not accidental. This was not some cosmic thing. This was not some act of God or snow or whatever. This was a purposeful, I believe that with every fiber in my being, that this was a purposeful act, either institutionally or by a lone wolf actor who wants to be the, because understand the Michigan thing. The Michigan thing has seen Connor Stallions feted as like this superhero there
Yeah.
for his cheating. Oh, he was just much better at stealing signs than your guys, and oh, this and that. And you know what? You can just see the little dweeb sitting there on the Michigan sideline, kind of going, if I cut the communications to Ohio State and they can't communicate, and Michigan comebacks to win, then little Timmy Poindexter is going to be the next superhero at Michigan. You know that's what happened. B, you laugh, but you know in your heart
I
that's
know.
exact. That's what happened.
Yes. Connor has made disciples. They've
Yes,
embraced his cheating and his just full out scumbaggery. And so you're right. Why would you put anything past that? They've embraced the cheater, a confirmed cheater, a confirmed evidence destroyer, a confirmed whatever. So why wouldn't we not believe little Timmy is like, I'm gonna, my hero Connor Stallions, I'm gonna just, yeah. Like, why wouldn't you? So with that said, look, we're gonna bring a buddy in
we need
who
an expert.
actually,
We need an expert to discuss this with. Do you have
yes,
anybody in mind, B? Do you have any experts on hand?
I do. I
Okay.
do. Let me see. Let me see if I can think of one. What the heck? Intrinsic. What's up, brother? The Buckeye Scoop favorite, the Buckeye Scoop righteous brother, along with Justin Spiro and Sports Talk Jay. We got like a alliance of like Marvel level type characters, but this brother has been killing it, still killing it, and we wanted to bring him in because he made a tweet on X about this. And yeah, man, what's up, Intrinsic? How you feeling, brother?
Oh, great weekend. Great weekend. Michigan State's gonna have we have a new coach,
I heard.
and you guys
Oh,
absolutely demolished Michigan. I had so much fun with that
Yes, I know
yesterday.
you did. I
Can't
know
even
you
oh,
did.
explain.
you guys killed the game with Fitzgerald, man. That's a great hire for
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State.
The
I think you guys did really well with that one.
the crazy part is I feel like we've been burned on our last two coaches, and everyone's saying this is such a great hire for MSU except MSU fans. So that's
Interesting.
Huh.
probably a good sign. That's
Yeah,
probably a good sign.
that's wild.
Hmm. That is wild. I mean, because Fitzgerald wasn't he? And listen, excuse my ignorance, but wasn't there a lot of misinformation? Wasn't he low key exonerated from the claims from Northwestern or no?
Yeah, so I mean, it's some of it still be worked out in court, but there's like a hazing incident,
Yeah,
and he it's looking like he's completely exonerated. That's why he's able to be a head coach right now.
that's what I thought.
So
That's a great
yeah,
hire.
he
That-
always played us tough. I swear, we always had trouble. Even when we were good, we had trouble with Northwestern. So,
Bro,
and
we
he has
did too
full donor
sometimes.
support. Yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't have a lot of talent at Northwestern, and I feel like he did good. So I'm
yeah,
excited to have a new coach. We're not running it back with Smith, but yeah,
yeah. No, just real quick, one more thing. Listen, great hire. Fitzgerald was always a good coach. I mean, he knows the Big Ten. He knows the landscape. I mean, he's to me that's a home run hire, Nevada for them. Like
Oh yeah, no,
Straight
that's
up.
no, that is that it's. I think it's especially given the environment of what coaches are and how much money people are throwing at guys and keeping. I really think that's a. I mean, I thought that would have been a great hire for Penn State. I thought that would have been
Yeah.
a Penn State level great
Yeah.
hire, and so for Michigan State to be able just to drop their guy and pick him up all in one day. Obviously, we knew that this obviously had been in workings. I think it's an absolute coup in terms of doing it, and so intrinsic while you're on your hot streak of running this. B Moses and I are running a point counterpoint on Michigan cheating. I figure you're going to defend, you're going to take the side of Michigan was not cheating. They don't have a cheating culture there at Michigan. And I'm going to argue the other side or something like that. So can you defend Michigan to the best of your ability to say why Michigan was not cheating yesterday in the Ohio State Michigan game?
Okay, yeah. This is hard for me, but sure, I got it.
No. I'm lying. Intrinsic. I want you
Okay,
to
I'm gonna say
bury
I
it.
could. I
We're
deal with
both
these people. I
Join
know their
we're
arguments.
us.
both
I
we're
literally had a
both
guy tell me that it was the weather. He goes, the weather was bad. I was going, oh, so the weather was just bad on Ohio State sideline? Like literally, I'm not lying.
Yeah, no, it's no. I say, how about this? We both take the side that Michigan was cheating, and then we let B Moses try to defend Michigan after that, and we'll
Oh
see
Lord.
Oh.
how well he can do.
That will not go well. I will just snap in the middle of my fake little spiel. I'll just snap and just start, just going irate on them bums. But real quick, I do got the tweet put up from Intrinsic. Got a lot of traffic on this tweet. It says OSU headsets died mid-game. The same Michigan program that ran a 3-year illegal sign stealing op, nicknamed KGB, now benefits from total comms blackout on the Buckeye sideline. Hashtag Michigan cheats. And there's a clip of the video during, I don't know, was it Jenny Taft or whoever their person is, trying to explain it and the weather. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now, I do want to ask, because a lot of people are asking this, let's bring some clarity to this with the whole rule. If one team's comms go down, does the other team have to shut theirs down, or how does that work? Because that's been one of the big questions, Intrinsic.
There's an equity rule, and it applies for both teams. So the one caveat has to be a total comms failure, so a total communication failure. If there's a total communication failure, then yes, Michigan absolutely has to shut down their communications. And there's a process for it that people who work there, who are neutral, know about. And so the total failure, if you notice, I mentioned in the post a blackout because they were talking about Sand, who's a green dot designated player, having to run in plays. So his headset wasn't working. And then we had the report from Jenny Taft or whatnot during the game. You guys probably watched this, where they said the booth couldn't even talk to him. And then there's also posts about there was power outages. So there was a complete and total failure, and Michigan kept their communications up, which is very weird that process didn't work.
Yeah, what you got on that, Nevada?
Well, I mean, look, it's there's the rules, and then there's how people have dealt with this. And this situation is not unique to the Ohio State Michigan game. It's not unique to college football. It's the rules are when one side's having problems with communications, the other side turns off their headsets and does the thing. It's just the way it works. It's the way it's done everywhere. I almost say it's a gentleman's agreement, but that's what gentlemen do. That's how you play. You have some respect for the game. The fact that if one side can't communicate, if one side's having to run the quarterback in, and the fact that Michigan didn't do that, and the fact that Michigan kept their comms going on while Ohio State, and apparently these problems, because I've talked to multiple people on the Ohio State side that said these were intermittent problems that were started in the first half. That they had intermittent problems in the first half, and then it went down totally dark in the second half. It's like I refuse to believe that this is a coincidence. Michigan does not get the benefit of the doubt for me. Not when you've run the most sophisticated, well-financed, wholesale cheating scandal in college sports history. You've been found guilty of a failure to monitor, aggravated repeat offender offense, and then in the biggest game of the year, the opponent's sideline communications go down. That there is no way in the world that is a coincidence. Ohio State, you and I talked about this. We did an entire podcast on this before thing in terms of saying, hey, this is a possible thing that's going to happen here in
Yeah.
terms of what's going on. And I think for the fact that it actually went down, it's just the audaciousness. And I guess for intrinsic, I think my only question would be institutional direction or lone wolf. You live up there amongst them. You're amongst the vermin every day. What does just your instinct kind of tell you? Do you think this is directed by someone? And when I say directed, I'm talking about more of a Connor Stallions type of thing where they did it, or do you think it was somebody that just spur of the moment wanted to be the next Connor Stallions and pulled the plugs on Ohio State's comms? What says you as a person behind enemy lines?
I think when you have a culture that's just rule breaking and you celebrate Connor Stallions, lone wolf Connor Stallions, I just think it's some you know person on the sidelines or someone who I couldn't see them doing it because they're already down in the game. It was very clear what, like, if you were watching that game or coaching that game, there wasn't going to be a comeback. I just think someone like wanted to make a name for themselves and sabotage the equipment in some way, whether that's like flipping the power off, messing with circuit breakers, unplugging something, who knows? But that's what I think. I couldn't imagine because the Connor Stallions thing was very, very well thought out. It had a purpose, had a plan. It provided like this huge advantage. Just in the middle of the game, killing their comms, it seems incredibly stupid. Even for Michigan, that seems incredibly stupid. So I just think it's someone who wanted to just become famous during this game.
So of the three possibilities, okay, of institutional cheating, lone wolf cheating, or just act of God, what percentage would you put on those three things in terms of your probability and likelihood of those occurring intrinsically? If I had to put a gun to your head, how do you allocate the 100% of those three buckets there?
Well, that's where the institutional thing becomes really strange because is the institution one that monitors its football program? Because if there's someone that's tied to the football program, you have to monitor them and make sure that they're behaving correctly, right? So it actually becomes an institutional problem, especially when you're on probation, if someone on your institution did do that. And so as far as it being like ordered, I have a very low probability in my mind of it being ordered. I'd say like less than 2% that someone ordered it. But as far as act of God, I mean, act of God versus someone doing it, I don't know. It just seemed like in the game when it happened, when they were down like that, I really feel like someone messed with something personally. It just seemed like it to me. And also too, they mentioned like in the broadcast, they mentioned, oh, it's down. Their communications are down. Ryan Day's real upset. And then they kind of quit talking about it. And then they came back again, like after the TV commercial, and it was like this huge deal. So it seemed like it kept happening, which is even weirder. Like they weren't able to fix it because they test this stuff like 2.5 hours before the game. They have independent tech support people, right? Like this is a big deal. You communicating to your players and to your staff. Like this isn't something that goes overlooked by anybody. So it seems to me like sabotage by an actual lone wolf, right? Whether you want to call it that. That's where I would lean. And then the next highest probability, I'd say maybe some faulty equipment, but I don't know. That's just the unknown.
Yeah, it just seems so crazy to me that because understand this problem hasn't happened at all this year at Michigan Stadium, not one time. And now all of a sudden, in the second half of a game at Michigan Stadium that they're losing, Ohio State loses comps. I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? Especially when I mean, I just thought it was so funny when we knew this was going to happen. I'm just telling you, this is the next frontier for sabotage. It's going to be electronic surveillance, intercepting this. If you can if the NSA can intercept conversations between Putin and Chechen rebels or whatever it is, you're sure as heck going to be able to intercept communication between Heartline and Julian Sane. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's a will, there's a way in terms of doing it. And then I would think the thing that's easier than anybody who's got any knowledge of what's going on or has access to whatever that's going on up there in Michigan, you could pull the plug. You could pull the plug, you could knock these things down. And I'm going to dig more into this because I've got some pretty good, relationships on both sides on this in terms of what's going on. But I'm telling you, like, last night my phone was blowing up for people going, there is no way that was a coincidence. We have to get to the bottom of it because you're right. They still are on probation. They still are the repeat offender. Not that I think anybody will do it. Truly have lost faith in the NCAA as an institution to do
Yeah.
anything or
Yeah.
to make it. I just have. Believed. I was a believer once. Not going to fall for that again. But I believe when the story is finally told, and I actually think the story is going to get told on this one. It was purposeful. There's no way it was an accident. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't bad equipment. It wasn't because it started to snow. Somebody did this. Somebody on Michigan side did it, and whether they were directed or whether they were not monitored carefully enough, to me, it's the same effect. And I think it's going to be a very interesting story once it gets told.
Well, I can tell you, on as far as like hacking the headsets, like obviously people think of hacking like breaking the decryption, but yeah, you could put eavesdropping devices in someone's comms, right? It wouldn't be that hard. Not to mention they sell signal jammers, right? Like it's cheap, you can buy it from China. It's super illegal, like super illegal. It's federal law if you jam signals, but it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for someone to commit a crime for that program. Absolutely not. I mean, I could see there being like if what's supposed to happen after this is Ohio State's supposed to file a complaint with that orange hat person, and it's supposed to be escalated to the Big Ten, who then reviews it within the next 24 to 72 hours. So we're supposed to hear something on it because I imagine Ohio State complained that it went down and this happened. So they're supposed to look over the logs of the devices and see exactly what happened and diagnose the problem. And they should be able to come to a conclusion, wow, this was really weird, or what exactly went wrong. Because think at the very least, right? Even take Michigan out of this, whether they did it or not. You want to make sure this doesn't happen again if you're Ohio State, when a situation that could matter. So yeah, I could see like if someone did do something, I mean, you're looking at them getting like vandalism or disorderly conduct or something like that. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a crime. You can't just cut somebody's, you know, radios off in a game like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, this is a huge deal. It's a huge deal with this communication. So Ohio State needs to do their due diligence. Let's just say they didn't think, oh, it was just an act of God. You still need to do your due diligence. So yes, this is a big deal. And it's just funny, real quick, guys, as I'm looking at the chat, drinking in more Wolver Queen tears. Okay. Let's just gulp in because it's hilarious to me that some of the people in the first of all, shout out to the Buckeye Scoop chat. Y'all always kill it. Usual suspects, love y'all, dopest chat on the planet. But it's funny to me, y'all. We got a lot of detractors and Wolver Queen fans in the chat whining and complaining about the video, but yet you clicked on it and you left a comment because you love us. You secretly love us. You hate watch us. You probably got a poster on your wall of Nevada and B. Moses and throw darts at it and join the show every time we go live. You're hilarious. Hi, hater. Here's the bottom line. You can accuse us of whatever you want, but the logic follows that the Michigan program was just found guilty of institutional cheating. Just because they didn't get the required bowl ban that they usually get for this type of infraction doesn't mean they're exonerated. They cheated. The Michigan fans, administration, for the most part, went along with this. The AD, for the first time, went public a few days ago to basically say, hey, this was wrong. Finally, the whole program was cool with this, cool with cheating. So why would we put it past them to continue the cheating in a big game where they're losing when they know they're not going to get a bowl ban? They're just going to get more fines. That's the logic. So you can claim whatever. Oh, you're just doing this for clicks. Okay. Well, you clicked, number one. But number two, tell me logically how what we're saying doesn't make sense. The facts are out there. So, yes, bottom line, they need to research this. They need to figure out what happened because it can't happen. Like you said, Intrinsic, it's not even just about this rivalry. It's just in general. comms can't go down in this new setup. It cannot go down. This can't keep happening. So something happened. And if you are naive enough to believe that this is no chance that a lone wolf or somebody in that program did something, then that's a you problem, bucko. All right, fellas.
Well,
Well,
I just want
yeah,
to say something
you go
because
for it.
I find it incredibly interesting that you posted on Buckeye Scoop, right? That there were reports that something was going to happen with the comms this game specifically, right?
Yeah,
And
yes.
I just like to mention you guys are also the ones that said Cardinal Tate, it's not his calf, it's his ankle, and he's fine, right? Nobody
Yep.
knew that. And Pete Thamel finally picked up on it like a week and a half ago. Everyone's saying it's his calf, right? And also that Jeremiah Smith was fine. Not to mention there's some other things, but you guys have posted a lot of stuff on there that I don't put out there because it's not my place. But that came to be true. So posting before the game that for this game the comms might have issues, and then this happens, that's crazy to me. Like, what are the odds?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, that was exactly. I'm so glad you made that point because it's not like we didn't predict this before the game. We'd had the word from Ohio State. They were concerned about this, man. This is something. It's so funny when you say stuff, and it's like it's one thing if we just were calling it out after. We said this before the game. We had an entire thread on this before the game talking about it, and I just didn't think they would just pull the plug on the comps. That's my bad for just thinking the audaciousness of just absolutely blocking out our comms so that we have to have Julian saying run over silent. That was not on my bingo card. But that's what happened. And so yeah, when we're concerned about an issue, Ohio State's concerned about an issue, it's raised before the game, and then it happens in the game when Michigan's losing the game in the second half. Yeah, I refuse to believe that that is a coincidence. And for the Michigan fans, hey, I'm telling you, I said this yesterday, but I'm going to say it again. The NCAA didn't do their job. They gave you a fine, but you know what? We gave you the bowl ban. So you got the fine from them, but we gave you the bowl
Yeah.
ban. So you got both, man. You got both smacks right there. You didn't get just one. You got both, and we were the one who gave it to you, and it was beautiful the way it was delivered. And it was so fun. Helping Technician had a great nugget out there today. There's a great clip going around where Ryan Day and Matt Patricia are hugging after the game, and Matt Patricia's like going, "I told you so, I told you so," and you're kind of going, "What was that about?" Well, apparently Matt Patricia went to Ryan Day at halftime and said, "Ryan, they ain't scoring another point. So you call the game appropriately. You and Brian call whatever game you want, but they're not going to score another point." And then what happened? They didn't score another point. So that was the genesis of the whole "I told you so" moment that's been caught, and that was kind of going viral in terms of which I thought was beautiful. But man, Michigan had nothing for us yesterday, and they tried to cheat to get back in the game, and I just think it's so on brand that they did this, and it's I think that when you have this can only happen when you have a culture of we will do anything to win, that everything's okay, it doesn't matter, cheating is celebrated, buffoonery and thuggery is celebrated, whatever you have to do, head-butting the official, that's
Mm.
okay. I'm not going to take you out of the game. I mean, it's flopping on the ground, all that stuff. We saw it all. We had it all. So why am I supposed to be surprised that you guys cut off the comms? Not surprised at all. But again, don't say we didn't say it before the game because we said it days before the game that it was going to happen. We predicted it, and then it happened. Not a coincidence.
At all. Beautifully said. There were so many great moments in this game. This was one of them at the end. Ryan Day, the man of humility, the adult in the room on the field, instructing Sharon Moore to get his players off the field so there won't be no problems. We not planting no flag. Look at how Sharon Moore's looking at him like, dang, he told me, let me walk away like a dummy. That's the thought in his head as he's looking over at Ryan Day, as he's instructing him, get your players off this field.
No,
And
no,
how
B, no, 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 B. Now I'm confused. Now remember last year, didn't they tell us that it was weak sauce? like to be
Yes.
defending our like hey, you should plant the flags, okay, and we did it, and you're what you should try to defend it in the game, and blah blah blah. And then they go all out there watching Herb Street's kid sitting out there on the block M defending the block M. I laughed so hard seeing that. I'm like, what a proud moment for his dad. It was like, oh, there's my kid. Did he play? No, but he defended he defended the M at the
Oh
end of
my
the game.
goodness.
Oh my God, what a clown! What an entire clown show. And you're right. It was like Ryan Day was Sharon's daddy. I'm telling you, the loss last year was the biggest mistake for Michigan because one, it convinced the Michigan faithful that Sharon Moore was a good coach and that he was the right guy to lead that program. And two, it awoke the inner giant inside of Ryan Day and has unleashed this beast on the rest of college football. And I'm telling you, we're going to look back at that 16 wins in a row since that game, and they've got crying Sharon out there and his flag planting bunch of buffoons. I love it. I love being a Buckeye.
Ohio against the world, baby. I love it too. And it's funny, real quick. Shout out to this comedian. He's a Florida fan. His name is Josh Prey. He posted a rant. It's going viral about the game, right? Talking about how, Ohio State is unstoppable and how goofy Team Up North look. And he made the point, Nevada and Intrinsic and chat and everyone watching and you Team Up North fans that are watching. He said, think about this. And I'm paraphrasing. He said they planned to lose. They were prepared to protect their block M because they were like, oh, well, yeah, we need to prepare for this because we about to hold this L. And I just thought to myself, like, yeah, like they really had a constructed game plan for when they held that L in their own big blouse to protect their goofy little block M. And there's nothing more glorious than that shot, y'all, of the Buckeyes sitting on the wall with their fans and the Team Up North players just standing there looking stupid, watching them celebrate and take over their trap, fellas.
Now, Intrinsic, you guys have never had any issues with Michigan, like in the tunnels or anything. Has there ever been any problem with Michigan on any of that thing? I'm not familiar if there's ever been any issues in the past.
There's always a problem. They even did in basketball against us, right? Yeah, I mean they weaponized their law enforcement after like an innocent player on one of our teams. Like he was completely exonerated. His whole life was ruined. He's 19 years old. Yeah, I don't put anything past them. People don't know how evil that program is. It really is like an ideology that you're dealing with. I call them the People's Republic of Ann Arbor because they really behave like that. From their media, it's the People's
Blue
Republic
Wall.
of Ann Arbor. It's just like anything for the cause. Like they'll die on the sword. Like I could see someone on the sideline just being like, "I'm gonna die on the sword and rip this off." Like I don't care what happens to me because anything for Michigan, the team, the team, the team. I mean, all this weird stuff they do. So yeah, but that was hilarious. It felt like to me watching the game that they were more concerned about after the play trying to pick fights and stuff than they were about executing. It did not seem like
Yeah.
Sean Moe had any control as a coach. It just seemed like they gave up. Like after midway through that second quarter, it really felt like after every play they were trying to do something, and it was super funny when Jeremiah scores and he gives them the bird. I thought that was hilarious. I don't know if you guys seen that photo. That was
Oh yeah,
so
the yeah,
funny.
the double birds was awesome. That
Yeah,
was
He
and he
channeled
tweeted
his inner
about it.
Marcus Hall. Yeah.
And he tweeted like one of his eyes closed after the game. It was just perfect. And then all you guys went up into the stands while it looked like they're sitting on their pot, you know, literally just they're sitting in the middle of the field while you guys are all celebrating with your fans. I mean, how embarrassing is that? And on top of it, Ryan Day big dogging Sharon Moore, telling him, "Hey, this is how you got to get control of your players. This is going to end up bad." Like, why is
Loved
Ohio
it.
State's coach telling Michigan coach what to do? Like, that's so embarrassing. I mean, you see it on the boards; they're already calling for his firing. And I'm like, hey, you guys should have seen his last year. That was a fluky win. If anything, it helped him. And plus, they're already self-imposing their postseason bans and having to pay fines. Congratulations, because it's gonna be another postseason ban next year. I mean, is Bryce Underwood going to be there next year? He's terrible.
Who knows?
Well, and
Yeah.
have you seen their schedule next year? This year they had the easiest schedule in the history of mankind, and they still lost 3 games regular season, missed the playoff. Next year they have a hell schedule. Next year they're going to get run, and they're not close. So yeah, so next year that 2-year bowl ban that we were looking for, well, I'm telling you, they've already got it, and on top of that, they got $60 million in fines. So they think they got away with it, but they didn't. In the end, the world's a circle. They got the financial penalties and the bowl ban, and next year they got to come to Columbus, and that's going to be ugly, man. I'm telling you that is going to be ugly because Bryce Underwood is not good. I said it before the season. I said that he's going to be a bust, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, Nevada, you're crazy. Oh, he's the #1 player in the country," and I'm like, dude, he didn't even go to the Elite 11. I've talked to people that they're like, his mechanics are terrible. Tell me you've seen a quarterback with worse mechanics. And I mean, he's incapable of throwing the ball. I mean, intrinsic, he had 66 yards of total offense yesterday. 66 yards. That's what the great Bryce Underwood went for.
Well, he said he chose LSU for quarterback development. And I mean, Chip Lindsey, who they brought in to be, the guru for him, Drake May regressed. Drake May, you see how good Drake May is on Sundays? The guy's incredible. He regressed under Chip Lindsey. So I don't think he's being coached well. I don't think any of those players are being coached well. I feel like the players are in control because they paid the young players so much money. It's killed the team chemistry. I don't see how that improves because they paid the 26 players just as much. Like they're seniors and upperclassmen. They have no leadership because they're making less money than these guys. Like they can't be the grown-ups in the room taking control of the team when their freshman quarterback who's cheesing on the side. He was cheesing going into half last night too, or yesterday too. He was smiling while he was losing. I mean, it doesn't seem like their players care very much, except for picking fights and stuff. So yeah, next year it'll be three postseason bans in a row for them. Moore's not surviving next year. If there's a bet on that somewhere, someone DM me. I'm betting the max on that. He will not surviving next
Well,
year.
it's funny you bring that up because I've kind of recently been discovering Kalshi in terms of these prediction markets. Like
Yeah.
you can make a lot of money on these prediction markets on betting either things to happen or things not to happen. And there was a prop earlier this week for Lane Kiffin not to be the coach at Florida, and it was like -275, which is really not that long, bad of odds at all. And I knew he wasn't going to Florida, and so we just hammered the heck out of that. I mean, Sharon Moore not to survive next year. I agree with you. I think that's super chalky. I don't think there's any way in heck I think they'll give him one more year, but I don't think he survives next year. I truly don't.
It's the end of his deal too, right? Doesn't he have like a 3 or $5 million deal or something like
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
And yeah, well, some of the stuff, I mean, super valuable. I remember talking with Funky before the game, and like, no, we're gonna come out throwing the ball. Like, we're gonna come out not playing conservative, throwing the ball. I'm like, really? I don't know, right? I should see this game going like this, and I see at some point them breaking. And Funky's like, no, I've talked to these people, and this is they're gonna go out throwing. And all of a sudden, Dev, tweets out before the game, oh yeah, we're coming out passing. So I don't know how you guys heard all that stuff, but they came out throwing the ball. I mean, this kind of stuff is valuable if you think about it. Knowing at least the early game plan. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, you guys are all over them to not make the playoffs. I remember having discussions with Funky about that. Like, even if they had won this game, the playoffs were not certain. Anyone who thought that was the case was wrong. And the betting markets were showing that as well. So the not to make the playoffs bet on Kelce was like, I was like, guys, this bet's great. So
So
not to mention they were
intrinsic.
going to win this game.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying is Buckeye Scoop has consistently been lucky with all these just great takes of nailing things. We just been, I mean, just lucky, right? I think that's what you're saying. But it's funny, so many things. The heck? Oh, hold on, my bad. Anyway, you mentioned cheesing, and I was laughing at this post on MGO blog where one of the fans is complaining about the potential Cheez It Bowl matchup with Vanderbilt. And listen, I was so weak because I thought about the commercial where it says, I woke up the cheesiest coach. Is it this or the Pop-Tart Bowl is hilarious to me. But yeah, Team Up North fans are besides themselves with just agony and pain. And I love it. I'm here for it. And real quick, I'm about to pull something up. Dev sent me a short clip of Nevada on Thursday talking about this. Nevada, I'm about to pull this up real quick just so they can see the receipts. of what we're talking about, how we called this out before the game Saturday. Go ahead while I pull this up.
Are you going to do it? Are you going to play it in like Morgan Freeman's voice? Can you do like an AI thing or something like that? Or I want James Earl Jones. Can James Earl Jones be like, I'm going to talk about the comms here and the thing?
I wish I had that AI program already booted up. That would be extremely beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind
want
of
James.
they're going to pay to play in the Cheez-It Bowl. They have to pay out of pocket to play in that because they can't make any money off it. It's so funny.
Yeah, that is crazy.
All right, here we go. So I'm gonna play at least, maybe not all of it, but some of it. Here we go.
But for Michigan right now, I think the big concern, and I think a concern that Ohio State's had, has been kind of electronic surveillance. So that takes a lot of different. You mentioned that involves taping walkthroughs. Ohio State's had guys scan the sidelines and scan the things before bowl games to make sure that they're not being recorded on that stuff. And before the Georgia game, they found cameras that were pointed at the field. They said that it was kind of quiet and it was just something for a camera that was set up for a documentary. But Ohio State's never quite sure. And now what they're watching is really the electronic surveillance. The idea of hacking the helmet communications and things like that, and making sure that all your helmet communications are completely secure, because that really could be the next thing that they do. If you could intercept the conversations between the defensive coordinator and the middle linebacker, or the offensive coordinator and the quarterback, that obviously puts you at a big advantage. I mean, it's obviously the electronic version of what Stallions was doing with his massive sign stealing campaign, probably the next thing up there. And I think for Ohio State, they're never going to talk about it. They're never going to, they don't ever want to publicly air their concerns about this stuff, but they're watching it. They're watching it. They've kind of got their spy versus spy stuff set up right now to make sure that it doesn't happen. They want to stay ahead of the curve because they don't want to be the victims of another cheating scandal, be on the wrong side of it. And come on, they want to be active in their own. But, for Michigan right now.
Well, what do you have there, folks? What do you have there? This is before the game. There's your receipt. I mean,
yeah, it's not like we didn't call it, B. I mean, it's not like we didn't call it. In the fact that, like I said, and I was hearing that. You understand? I'm hearing that from Ohio State. I'm getting that from my Ohio State guys, and then this goes down in the game. There was just no way on earth that it was there, and just the fact that we were able to go out there and just pound them into the ground. The 20-play drive between the third and fourth was 12 minutes. 16 runs of 20 plays, and go down there and kick the field goal. I mean, I cannot tell you how satisfying it was to finish with the ball, to just drive, even though they know we're going to run it and we got another. I mean, just like in every way, we stole their soul from them. And they're not getting it back. They're not close. Every narrative that they've had, every little feel good little talisman that they've had to make them feel better about their place in the college football universe, we have destroyed now. And now they realize what they're talking about: the Pop-Tart Bowl or the Cheez-It Bowl, where they're going to go get violated by an SEC team, and they're going to finish the season 9-4 or whatever it is. And I mean, Sharon Moore, he's going to have as many losses in 2 years as Ryan Day's had in 9, I think, or so. I mean, it's absolutely incredible to me. Where the difference between their perception of where they are in the college football universe and where they think they are. There couldn't be the divide is as big as the Grand Canyon. They're irrelevant, man. They're irrelevant. They're Purdue. They're Wisconsin, they're Minnesota or whatever it is. They're not part of college football league. They're not even part of the playoffs. They would, if they had expanded the playoff this year to 16 teams, they wouldn't make it. Think about that, Michigan. So like that's where you're at in terms of the big picture right now. And let me tell you what, Bryce Underwood ain't going to save you, because Bryce Underwood sucks. And I said that before the thing. He's asked my dude. He hasn't gotten better. He's regressed. And you've latched your start him. And Intrinsic's exactly right. You guys paid him all that money. It destroyed your locker room. It destroyed your culture. And you guys get what you deserve. And I'm here for it.
And so am I. And so are all the Wolver Queen haters out there. It's amazing. And so All that is true. We're gonna get the super chats real quick though. I want to hit on this again. Intrinsic brought it up. Carnell Tate is incredible, and he looked incredible. And you know what else he looked? Healthy. We told y'all 2 weeks ago that young man was playing. The intention to sit him out was for him to play, not to declare for the draft, not to shut it down because he wants more NIL. All the goofy narratives, all the percentages you want to put on it. We told y'all him and Jeremiah Smith were playing. Okay. So y'all can keep sleeping on us all you want, but that's on you. That's a you problem. And Carnell Tate was amazing. I mean, he is an excellent, he's so smart. And kudos to Joe Klatt for being good in this sense, because I'm over Joe Klatt for, overall, but he did a good job of explaining how smart and savvy Carnell Tate is. I mean, he's just a great receiver. And so it was beautiful to see him get that long bomb for the TD, y'all. It was just great to see coming off of the, be sitting out for the games. Great to see. So we can get the super chats, and y'all want to respond to that?
Joel Klatt sucks. I can't stand listening to Joel Klatt. My ears are bleeding every time I hear him talk, and hear him begging for that touchdown to be overturned by the officials was probably a low point for me. So like I'm gonna have to turn it off and listen to something else and anything else. Um, does Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson bother you, Intrinsic, as much as it bother me, or is that just a me thing?
Joel Klatt is turned into like a Michigan lackey, like big time. It seems like
Much.
he's an apologist. Basically, he's an apologist. Anything they do, he has an apology for or an excuse for, and he doesn't even try to hide it anymore. Really, I mean, it was even last year there was an onside kick, and they threw a flag or something. He's like, "No way, they're offside." It's like, dude, like you're supposed to just be calling the game. I don't know. You could hear the pain in his voice in that interception. Go back and watch that last interception and listen to him and Gus on the mic there. There was pain in their voice. Like they were not enjoying this at all. And it's like, come on, just enjoy the game. But they're so into Michigan. I feel like they're trying to prop up Fox is trying to prop up Michigan. They know Ohio State is a known commodity that produces and is there every year. So they're trying to prop up Michigan to be better than they are because they get viewers. That's what it really feels like to me from like a business standpoint. But I'm sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so am I. And I think that's the Portnoy move as well. Ohio State is the biggest money grab, cash cow that you can get. You praise them, you get clicks. You trash them, you get clicks. And so you roll out the fake Pat McAfee, the Timu Pat McAfee and Portnoy, who is an absolute clown, who doesn't know ball, brings nothing to the table but just running his mouth. That's why they bring him in to try to, goad Ohio State fans. And of course, simultaneously, prop up the team up north. I agree with that, Nevada.
Yeah, no, like I said, they're going for that youth audience, and they think that getting the barstool thing with Portnoy is the way to go, and it's just, I mean, I just think it's turning off so many people, and maybe I'm an old head, maybe I'm the old codger, maybe I'm the demo that they don't want or aren't interested in anymore, but. I used to love Joel Klatt. I used to thought Joel Klatt was the most insightful, and ironically enough, I think the most insightful guy on the air right now is another Michigan guy, and Jake Butt. I think he's the best on the air right now. But Jake Butt is what Joel Klatt used to be, and so more Jake Butt, less Joel Klatt, please.
Absolutely. And speaking of Barstool, as we transition to super chats, shout out to Ohio's Tate, for winning his bet, not having to walk back from Ann Arbor with third base. He was on the show with us Friday. And again, shout out to Dev from the Buckeye Boys, who's also obviously Scoop family, for coming up with that great idea of the Buckeye Banter show. We had great guests, great time, and Tate was on there, and he's a friend of the show and mutual respect. So yeah, shout out to him. All right, listen, first super chat, we got Huntington BCH Buckeye. Thanks for the 10. I am so dang proud of Coach Ryan Day winning with humility and telling Cheater Moore to get his players off the field. They're looking for trouble, classless cheaters. I cannot disagree, sir. What y'all got on that? Intrinsic, what you got on that?
Yeah, I mean, show cause Sharon Moore getting big dogged in the middle of his own field. That's hilarious. I mean, it was nothing more symbolic. This game was symbolic for so many different reasons. how that ended at the end of the game was like that explains everything. You had this broken culture that finally has to play legitimately, and it's all falling apart. Perfect.
Yeah, Nevada.
Yeah, no, I thought it was kind of funny that I think Ryan Day, there was part of Ryan Day that wanted to spike the football. There's things that he wanted to say,
Oh
but you
yeah.
know what? He's too smart to do it. He's too smart to take the bait. He took the high road, and yeah, I'm really proud of him that he did it that way because it would have been really easy to fall into it. And I just think that's the new Ryan Day, man. That's why he's the boss of college football, and he's our guy. So it's damn glad we have him.
Yeah, and real quick, I'm going to repeat this statement slash question for everyone. And I said this the other day. I gave the scenario. I said, would you rather? Because basically, what happened yesterday was a year late in our minds. Those demons should have been exercised in our minds last year in the shoe, but they weren't. We saw the result of it. We went on a heck of a run. We're 17-0 since then. So the question is, do you take a win last year in the shoe to exercise those demons, but win a couple, maybe a couple to be charitable of playoff games and then lose and not win a natty? Or what happened, we go on that run and we exercise the demons like we did yesterday. Which one do you take? And me and Nevada both agree. We take what we just experienced because, again, we don't ever want to lose to the team up north, especially like we did last year. But I'm telling you, that was like a storybook necessary evil. I gave the example of Thanos talking to young Gamora, like, what did it cost you? He said everything, to get the Infinity Stones or whatever. Like, it cost us in the meantime when we experienced it, like pain and just frustration, but the glory, just that came after that has been amazing. And this year's win in their house, in the fashion that we did it, coming off a natty, going into the Big Ten championship game. Yeah, y'all can say hindsight is 2020, but I will gladly take what we're experiencing now over the alternative, fellas.
Well, yeah, and I just want to add one other thing. I mean, it kind of dovetails something we talked about earlier, but the hidden bonus of that win, reinforcing Michigan to stay with Sharon Moore, for me, that's like the icing on the cake because he
Yes.
sucks. Sharon Moore is clueless, man. He is. You can just tell he's clueless on the sidelines. I'm not sure if he knows where he's at. He's kind of like sleepy Sharon. He's just kind of like wandering around there on the sideline, and we're not even sure if he knows he's at a football game or something. But like the fact that reinforced for them that, man, they made the right choice. That's their guy. That's their leader of men. That's the head of their. You can tell any organization and walk into any restaurant, and you can tell in 5 minutes how good the general manager is, how good the owner is by how clean it is, how on point they are, how quickly stuff goes. You can tell a good one, and you can tell a bad one, and you can tell a good organization, and you can tell a bad organization. And Michigan is a broken organization, and that starts at the top. That starts with Ward Manuel. That starts with Sharon Moore, and that's what they got. And if that loss, that 2024 terrible loss, made them stick with him one day longer, something. I'm all about that because I think he is the reason that they'll until they cut him loose, they will. This is what they're going to get, and I think they're going to stick with him for a while, and I love it.
Me too. And one last thing. Did you want to say something, Intrinsic?
Yeah, I just want to add one point. Everything I agree with everything you guys said. I still think it's shocking how bad that team is in the NFL. JJ McCarthy is the meme of the NFL right now. That's how bad this guy
He
is.
is.
And
He
so,
is.
and you look at his stats pre and post Stallions, completely different. He's not who anybody thought he was. Even like the worst case version. Their best player off their 23 team is basically AJ Barner. The world's greatest draft class out Jim Harbaugh said is AJ Barner. I don't even remember seeing him play. He's like the second
Yeah.
tight end on the team.
Me
So
either.
yeah, I feel like it's all coming together, and it couldn't. Life plays out differently than we expect, but this is more beautiful than I could have ever wrote.
Yes, well said. More beautiful than that was great. I might have to clip that, Intrinsic. And one last thing before we move on. I told y'all before the season, Bruce Leroy Glow. That's the other byproduct of Ryan Day going through the fire and emerging as pure gold. Bruce Leroy from the Last Dragon movie, which Nevada still has to watch. I'm going to watch Patton probably this week. I've been too busy. with the game content and watching Stranger Things that I haven't gotten to
Oh,
it.
wait a second. Wait. You started watching Stranger Things instead of watching Patton?
Well, okay. So listen, man. Yes, but I'm going to. We've been waiting a long time for season 5, man. Stranger Things fans, come on. You know what I'm saying? So give me a break. But I promise you, I found Patton. I found it. I know where to watch it, and I'm going to watch it.
Okay, and I'm watching.
So,
I'm watching the Last Dragon this week as well. I promise.
Yes, please. I cannot wait to hear your review.
Vanity.
On that.
Vanity.
Yes, vanity. Absolutely. All right. We got Recliner 04. Thanks for the $4.99. Thoughts on UM Insider saying their game plan was to not, to get blown out, similar to Hairball ducking us in 2020 to avoid getting fired. Go Bucks. Listen, man, before y'all even respond, I believe it because, and I kept saying to myself, do y'all understand that they've been publicly saying just get it to the fourth quarter? Who does that? You're supposed to be elite. Get it to the fourth quarter and we have a chance? Wow. Go ahead, fellas.
Intrinsic, you can go first.
I think this has to do with post of mine today. Yeah, it's just hilarious. The weather, it's gonna snow. Ohio State's soft. I mean, they just talked all this crap.
Yeah.
Just for them to be like, no, this was a brilliant move by Michigan. We pulled off a strategic retreat, just like we did in 2020. The greatest strategic retreat since 1940 when Allied forces pulled out of Dunkirk. We pulled out of this game and so they didn't run it up on us. I swear that's what they said.
Steve DA said that.
Yeah.
Crazy, Nevada.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny that you even heard Sharon Moore sometimes talking about they're going to break. They've convinced themselves this whole thing. What your pressure builds and they're going to break and blah 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 blah. And what they had done was they had 3 years of cheating, and last year they had the most memey win in the history of wins. It was just like everything went wrong. Everything went right for them, and they squeaked out a 3-pointer, and somehow they convinced themselves that this was part of some story for them. So they went into this game. I thought they were completely unprepared. Their game plan was literally try to pick fights with their Ohio State players, and then when that didn't work, we'll cut off their communications and try to frustrate them that way. And that was the game plan. And the fact that that's what Sharon Moore came up with, I like I said, if I'm a Michigan fan, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed, and I'm telling you, you go to the Chiclet Bowl or whatever bowl you guys are going to go to, you guys are going to get run. You guys are going to get violated by Vanderbilt. I'm telling you, because Diego Pavia or whatever his name is he's not going to be playing, and he's going to go up there, and you can try to play your little game with Bryce Underwood, where he'll try to throw for 65 yards this game, and maybe with his great legs. Bryce Underwood was great. Remember the great dual threat Bryce Underwood? 1 yard rushing yesterday. 1 yard. 1 yard.
Trash.
Fats Underwood. I'm telling you, running to the buffet, Fats Underwood. I'm telling you, that guy is not twitchy at all, except for when he's going for that last chicken wing or something like that. He's a.
That is hilarious, man. But accurate.
Accurate.
Will the Thrill. Thanks for the $9.99, brother. It's not as important as a natty, but it's really close. LOL. For Saturday, are you concerned about the guy's ability to move on from this emotional high against a much better team? I'm not, because, again, we reached our number one goal last year in winning a natty, but there's 3 goals: Big Ten title and beat the team up north. They haven't done the Big Ten title part yet. There's more hardware to collect. And, of course, I think Ryan Day, I know inside the program, they got something for Indiana. How can I put it? Signetti and, his Google Me spirit and the way they carry themselves, they got an edge for Indiana. But not only that, they want that hardware that they have not been able to get for these seniors in the entire team. So that's my take on it. No, there's still so much out there to play for and motivation that even if that was slightly an issue, I think it's curtailed by all of that. What you got, Nevada?
I think here's the bad news. The bad news is Indiana got to play on Friday. We had to play on Saturday. We didn't get home till they didn't play a real. They played Purdue won
Right.
56-0. They didn't really use their emotional stores up. We played Michigan on the road. Didn't get home till midnight with flight delays and everything else like that. So to me, that's a something. But on the good side, I think you're exactly right, B. I think the Ohio State team has it in for Zanetti. They don't like him. They don't like they want to get after those guys. They want to get saying the Heisman, and I think they'll play fast and loose on Saturday. And I think we got way better athletes, and it's going to be indoors. So, do I think it's a something with the emotional stores being down? I do, but I think our overwhelming talent's going to carry the day, and I think the new Ryan Day is going to be hoisting the trophy at the end on Saturday night.
Agreed. Intrinsic, did you have anything on this?
Yeah, the only thing that would concern me, and this is just I don't come at it from the Ohio State side, is just both teams get a bye, right? No matter who wins. So,
Yeah.
but that's the only thing that I would throw as a caveat.
Very true. Whole new world we're living in with college football, man. It's crazy, but you are correct. So Kevin Newby, thanks for the 199. JJ had control when he broke the plane. Enough said. TD. And I agree. And it's just it's frustrating dealing with Klatt because it's like that wasn't even really discussed during the broadcast, y'all. Like, the whole review or it's like, do you understand? Maybe they didn't overturn it. First of all, they shouldn't overturn it, but because there was no indisputable evidence that he didn't break the plane before it bobbled. And if you look at all the different angles and screenshots and pictures, I've seen people bring it out. He clearly had control before he crossed the plane. You can't overturn that. So, but they really didn't mention that. They only talked about the bobble and the stepping on the line. That's all they talked about. So, but either way, let's just say they took the TD off the board. You still lose, scum fans. What y'all got?
Yeah, first of all, like the rule, it's the dumbest rule in all of football. It's the only rule in football that doesn't make any sense, the whole touchback rule. But that, regardless, whether he broke the plane with the ball before he bobbled it or he broke the plane, because once he regained possession, even with the grabbing the ball for even a split second before his foot stepped out of bounds, that's possession in the end zone. You don't need to step with your foot in bounds. This isn't a catch. He was a ball carrier at that point in time. So I think they absolutely got it right. And I thought clowning for Michigan and begging for them to overturn that was an absolute low point for him, and it was embarrassing, and it was hard to listen to.
Agree.
If someone needs to go back and count how many times Joe Klatt mentioned that play afterwards, just over and over again, as Michigan's getting beat up and down the field, he just kept bringing that up. Yeah, it's a dumb play. I mean, you watch football, the guy caught the ball, he's running with it. He's always had possession of it. He scores a touchdown. It looks like a touchdown. It's a touchdown. I don't understand why it was even reviewed. And it is a dumb rule. The guys who they just accidentally they start to celebrate a half yard too early or whatnot, or less than that. It's just a silly rule that's a fumble and it's other team's ball. But regardless, that's a touchdown. Period. So
Yep.
and they reviewed it. They had the video evidence. They reviewed it. They called it a touchdown. So I don't understand the problem.
You could almost hear the disappointment in Klatt's voice when they didn't overturn it and try to call in another external ref so he can just pile on top. Just whatever. Just shut up and hold this L, Clatty boy. Real quick before we move on to the next super chat. Huge show right now. Huge show today. Do me a favor. If you have not hit the like button, hit that like button. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. Let's go ahead and get us to our next goal of 40K. All right. Next super chat. Thank you, Karis Washington, a show favorite. Thank you for being a Scoop Ultra member. Thanks for the 109. How about that fake flop? OH Nevada?
OH
Intrinsic?
MSU.
Go green, go white.
I'm fair for you guys when you guys play Michigan. And Duffy Doherty said one thing. He said those efforts were the only school that didn't vote for us to be in the Big Ten. He goes, I don't care if it's chess, you always root against Michigan. I see a bunch of people saying, oh, you can't root for Ohio State, you're a C word or whatever. I'm like, I root against Michigan every single week. Like, I was Ohio State's biggest fan this week, and that's how it works. I've done since I was a child, so I don't care. And you guys came through. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, the fake flop. I was so
No,
pleased.
no, whoa,
Go ahead,
whoa.
Devon.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which one?
They both should have been called, but I was shocked and pleased that they actually called it, because the first one, remember, I believe the first one was they called Jermaine Matthews for a PI and dude flopped.
Exactly. Yeah, Marsh.
Like, it was not a catchable ball, and this dude is soccer flopping out there. Like, come on, man. So yeah, that was a great call. Great call.
And then they called the other one on the sideline where the guy went down, and the ref actually came out and said there is no flag. He was embellishing. Remember that one? Like,
yes.
Like I said, it was just that again. That's not an accident. That's a plan. That was Sherrod Moore's plan. That was their strategy. It wasn't about blocking and tackling or outflanking them, or it was, let's try to draw as many penalties as we can. And so all those plays that were thrown, they were thrown to the Michigan sideline. They throw it to the sideline. They tell the guy to flop on the ground, and they tell all the Michigan players to scream pass interference and see if they can talk that stupid ref into trying to find his flag inside his fat belly there. He couldn't find the flag. It took him about three times pulling it out. He was struggling to find that thing, and he finally found it and threw it out there. And he was a big hero then. Crappy call.
Yeah, I mean, the first time in the history of football that I know of, I'm pretty sure it's the only time, where Barham headbutts an official, doesn't get ejected. That's crazy.
That is and just think about it. It's not like we think he headbutted the official, but he really didn't. It was just an accident. They threw the flag on him, so he got the flag for headbutting the official, but he didn't eject him.
Crazy,
absolutely crazy.
So this is a perfect segue. Lisa, another favorite. Thanks for the $4.99. Right on cue. Barham, headbutting ref, was not ejected, but had he been a Buckeye, Day would have benched him. Speaks to lack of Sherron class. So proud of Bucks. Yeah, I mean that whole game was just a display, from the flopping to the trash talking and the dirty play and just all that stuff. That's just who they are. That's their culture. That's their culture. Like, they try to it's just trash. They're trash, and I was just shocked. I was beyond shocked that he was not ejected, y'all. Like, I'm still shocked, but whatever. A part of me is like, cool, go ahead and stay in the game, and you can experience this L on the field instead of from the locker room.
Well, yeah, but Lisa's exactly right. The fact that Sherrod Moore didn't pull him out of the game, I mean, you just had a player headbutt a ref, and you do nothing. What are you doing, Moore? What are you doing? I mean, I think you're exactly right. I think that represented their entire program in a nutshell. That game just represented everything that Michigan is, and it was embarrassing. Man, if I'm a Michigan fan today, I am absolutely. I'm embarrassed because our team sucks. 2, I'm embarrassed because I know the future's bleak. But 3, that performance, and just with all the antics and all that stuff, man. What a low point. When I didn't think it could get any lower for them, they get down to that level. Man, they are in the absolute toilet right now.
Yeah, they are.
The one thing I'll say is that play, the Michigan fans were overwhelmingly on the side of he should have been ejected, and they were saying that was stupid. And that's something you rarely see from Michigan fans. So him continuing in the game and him not being ejected, I've seen a lot of Michigan fans upset over that too, actually. They thought it was a dumb goofball play. So, yeah.
And they're upset, but Sherrod Moore just keeps them in the game, just keeps rolling them right out there. I mean, that
should
happened.
be upset at the coach. Yeah, their coach. But this is a whole another discussion. But yeah.
Maybe Ryan Day could have came over and helped him, like, hey, this is what you should do, son.
Exactly. And put him on his knee. And
then Sherrod would reluctantly, like, man, that's great advice, but dang, I hate this guy. That's the Oh, sweet Jesus, help us. All right, here we go. Thomas Richards, thanks for the 5. I have 30 years in communications. This was not weather. Boom. There it is. Yeah, but we're crazy. We're crazy conspiracy theorists, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no. There's something to this, fellas. What y'all got?
Well, yeah, like look, we are the three people that, and intrinsic. I got to say to you on the whole Michigan scandal thing, and I don't want to go back down that thing, but you had that thing nailed more than like I'm just talking about from a technical, matrix, what was supposed to happen. You had it probably better nailed than anybody in the entire world, and just you're completely getting that right. Well, this communications thing, man, we knew this before that was going on. We knew this was going to happen, and then it happens. Not a, these are not coincidences, man. This is a bad program. This is a crooked program, and I don't believe for a second that it was an accident. I'll never believe that.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas, if you're on X, DM me and tell me what you think, how this could have gone down. Because what I do is I just try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like this could be randomness, it could be something else, but I think this 100% needs to be investigated if it's not being investigated already. Because Ohio State for sure had to have told those orange helmet guys who are responsible for tech that hey, we had problems. This needs to be diagnosed for if no other reason than for it not to happen again.
Absolutely. And I'm pulling this up right on cue with this next super chat. Tater Buck, thanks for the 5. Shout out to Brutus for the script Ohio in the snow and Xing out the M. Legendary. This was absolutely beautiful. Whoever this Brutus is, because I'm sure they rotate Brutuses. Whoever this Brutus is goated. This was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Look at this, y'all. Script Ohio in the snow. And peep how he jumps to Dr. I. This Brutus is amazing. You are a gentleman and a scholar, sir. Watch this jump right here when he gets done with the O. He's covered around. Look at this. Boom, lands the eye. He is clowning. And listen, he deserves some love. I wish they would reveal identities because, I'd buy you a meal or something or send you a basket. That was great, y'all. I loved it.
Yeah, well, I love the Michigan guy running out there on the field and scraping at the little X thing on the M thing and trying to rub that out. It was like, God, you guys are just trying too hard, Michigan, man. It's like, oh, we're gonna go and have a big fight with the mascot over him doing the thing. But yeah, no, Bruce, that was epic. I don't know if that was spontaneous or planned, but either way, it was beautiful.
Hey,
Yeah,
they,
it
they
was.
kept him off the M though. He didn't do it on the M logo.
Oh yeah, exactly. They protected that. That was Chase Herbstreit. Chase Herbstreit was ran over there during the game and protected it. And stay off the M. Stay off the M.
See, Daddy, I'm making you proud.
I made you proud. I protected the M, Daddy.
In my urine and blue colored uniform, I'm in.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, indeed. All right. So we got Farah Sue. Thanks for the 199. Anyone else think Portnoy is Uncle T? Intrinsic. I know you know Uncle T well. Do you think Portnoy is Uncle T?
Expelled booster Tim Smith, who ran a 6+ month campaign against an Ohio State linebacker that was a complete hoax, perpetrated by the Michigan insiders on One Sports. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
Tim Smith knows, and so yeah, it's definitely not Portnoy, but I could see them being buddies.
Nevada. What? No. Was Joey Velasquez out there on kickoff coverage? Did he make a tackle on kickoff coverage yesterday? I think he did. I think, and if he did, that would be like one of the great moments of all. I think I want to go back and watch that in terms of. I think I heard that, but I don't want to state that as a fact because I'm not 100% sure. But if that was true, given the whole Uncle T, Mr. T, I pity the fool shenanigans that was going on with that thing, that would have been perfect icing on that cake. I thought we were supposed to be declared ineligible or whatever it was. Weren't we supposed to forfeit the national championship or something like that? And Ryan Day's playing with fire, playing Joey Velasquez up there, isn't he?
Well, I'll give you guys something. So, Joey's dad reached out to an attorney, And this attorney, and I quote, said, if people knew what Tim Smith did to this family, they would sign a petition for
Mm.
him to be in jail. That's a quote.
Wow.
Yeah. So the stuff they did to Joey and his family, including high school kids, this went all the way to Ryan Day's son and one of the Velasquez family members in high school. The harassment they received and the threats they received, disgusting.
I hope they
So
sue this. I hope they sue his pants off. I really do.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do
same.
too.
Same. Yeah, but we're the weird conspiracy theorists, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's funny, like on my social media pages, occasionally you have scum fans come in there like, just wait and you see when this Joey Velasquez stuff comes out, you'll see. Shut up, idiot. All right. Next super chat. Tyler Lewis, thanks for the 109. Is that why Lincoln used a walkie against them? I don't know. I don't remember that. I think I vaguely
Yeah,
heard
he
about that,
did.
but
Yeah, Lincoln Riley used a walkie-talkie against them. That's
yeah, maybe
facts.
that's why. Maybe that you might be onto something, Tyler. I mean, he don't listen. Remember, let us remind you. And Justin Spiro did a great job of this on Friday on the Buckeye on the the rivalry banter show. He reminded everybody that they interviewed dozens of coaches. I believe it was the New York Times or Wall Street Journal, one of them publications, about the cheating scandal when it first dropped, and they were anonymous, and it was overwhelmingly like in the high 80% of just vehemently like disgusted with what they did, and it was wrong, and they deserved to be punished, and they didn't trust them, and the other coaches like Stoops, and they've all come out. They don't shoot. Nick Saban had his players not get on catapult for their game against them. I mean, like it's just on and on and on. So the coaching community is hip to like once they got hip to it, it's like, oh yeah, we not on that. We don't trust them. They're garbage. And so I wouldn't put nothing past anything. To me, that makes sense, Tyler. What y'all got?
I mean, again, I don't know. That game was at USC. I don't know in terms of. I don't know, but it was. I remember thinking it was notable at the time. I thought it was a little bit odd. Um, And like I said, here's the one thing I know for a fact. I know Ohio State was concerned about it before the game. And the fact that it went down, maybe Lincoln Riley was onto something, maybe walkie-talkies was the way to go, or some other form of thing. But intrinsic, aren't the forms of communication that you have, isn't that somewhat like mandated? Isn't that like controlled by the league or can you freelance and do whatever you want, or do you have to use the prescribed ones?
Well, the coach to player one, there's 10 of them. So you can have 10 designated ones. As far as up to the booth, I think you can have more options there. Lincoln Riley did use a walkie-talkie versus Michigan. I don't watch all of USC's games. I had someone tell me that he does that for every game. But regardless, smart on him because clearly you need some type of backup plan in case something like this happens. That's the only bad thing about the NCAA not enforcing their own rules is that it almost incentivizes cheating, right? Because what is the worst thing that happens is you get a fine, right?
Right.
So yeah, I definitely think there's every reason to be paranoid about this stuff if there wasn't already, and they need to get to the bottom of it. They need to figure out what happened here so at least other teams know. But I don't think every program's like Michigan either. I don't think every program will do cheat in every way possible to win. I just don't think that's the meta because when you play sports, there's like a gamesmanship to it. You want to be the better team. You don't want to cheat to win. That's a Michigan thing.
Definitely a team up north thing for sure. But good stuff, good stuff. All right, let's get to the next one. We got Roll. Thanks for the 499. Did you see the Mendoza plus 125 and Saying plus 135 odds for Heisman? Are we betting the kids' college fund on Saying for Heisman? Nevada is the resident better. What say you on this, Nevada?
I think honestly, I think whoever wins the game wins the Heisman. I think I mean, obviously with some notable exceptions of one player was just unbelievably good but still lost. You might go the other way, but I think in general, I think the outcome of the game is going to follow the outcome of the results. So you could probably hedge because Ohio State, I believe, is like a 5.5 or 6 point favorite in the game, but the Heisman odds are closer. So I think you could bet that one way, but bet the team the other way. and maybe catch a middle on it. But I think whoever wins that game on Saturday wins the Heisman, and I think that's why it's going to be Julian saying, because I think our defense is better than their defense, and at the end of the day, I think Julian's going to get off on Saturday, and I think that's why he's going to win it.
Yeah. Trenzy?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. What's the difference between those odds in the games? Money line odds, because it seems like that makes a lot of sense. I will say I was impressed by saying as someone I was skeptical of saying like his release being a little low and how he would work. And tell you what, he's blown everyone away, including myself. I told Moses that I'm like, man, for him to do that in that weather, because that was coming down hard at the end of that game. And
Yeah.
there was wind. You could see some of those throws being hung up into the wind. And for him to just be that composed and to deliver the way he did in a big moment like that, to me, that's like, oh, that guy's got it. He's got that clutch factor. And so I think he's better than Will Howard. I think he can throw the
Oh
ball
yeah.
downfield a lot better than Will Howard. I think he sees the field a lot better. And so I think you guys hit a home run with him. He might be QB1 of his class coming out.
Yeah, the Cali boy did show improve, and I love it. AF Pride, thanks for being a Scoop Ultra member. Thanks for the 4.99. Will anything come of the sideline communication tampering? Also, thoughts on our player matchup against Indiana? I'll make it quick. I mean, we've been discussing, parsing it out. We don't have anything official yet that Ohio State is going to take action. We believe they will, but it remains to be seen, and it should be pursued. And my quick thoughts is I respect Indiana. I think they're a really good team. They're a well-coached team. Mendoza is a really good quarterback. I do think that our athletes, we got good coaches too. We're well coached as well. But I believe in that dome on that fast track lined up against our athletes, I think we're going to see the difference. And as far as matchup, our Jimmys and Joes being better than theirs, we know what they do. They're RPO heavy, on offense, and we have the defenders and the coaches to scheme it up. And so I'm confident in that regard. What y'all got?
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest difference is going to be just athleticism. I think we have more athleticism, but they're a well coached veteran team. I mean, they've got more experience than we do. They've got, I think, 19 of their 22 starters are fourth, fifth, or sixth year seniors, and so they've got a lot of older players on that team, and I think that's something. And Mendoza's really good, experienced quarterback. So, but I think it's athleticism is probably going to rule the day, and we definitely have the edge there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so as far as something coming of this, so it falls under conference jurisdiction. Immediate like reporting Ohio State, I'm guessing reported it because they reported it to the media during the game, right? We heard that. And then so there'll be a post-game review by the Big Ten Conference that's like 24 to 72 hours. So probably on Tuesday, they'll decide if they're going to conduct a formal probe or not. I don't know if we'll hear about it, but that's how it will go down. And that'll be like a 1 to 4 week process. So if something comes of it, it'll be done by the Big Ten.
Yep. And I hope it is. All right. Biracial Batman. That's hilarious. Thanks for the 4.99. Just like their blank song, Mr. Brightside, coaches in Michigan faithful watch their mid-team get violated. Bunch of busters. Oh man, that is funny. And yeah, the shots of the crowd of their tears and just in the snow coming down as they're just looking there so dejected. Ah, man. Like I said earlier, injected in my veins, fellas.
Yeah, but B, you're missing. But they defended the M, baby. They defended. They defended. Yeah, the Mr. Brightside song about some guy sleeping with your girlfriend, and it's just that's so fitting for Michigan. That the fact that that's what they celebrate. That I mean, nothing could be more fitting. I love it. I love it. Every time I do that, I'm just like, do you guys realize what you're singing about? It's what this is your thing. But yeah, no, it's perfect for Michigan. So I love every minute of it.
Trenzy.
Yeah, you guys just have Ohio State. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys have the best fans. Like that's hilarious. That's all I gotta say.
Yes. Yeah. We get some heat in these comments, man. I'm telling you all the time. FSS or FS Staley, thanks for the 4.99. Don't forget about Matty P's ability to scheme up Mendoza. Might be difference in saying winning the Heisman. What you got, Nevada?
Yeah, I agree. I think our defense is better than Indiana's. I think There's nobody better than Patricia in terms of scheming and getting them ready to face him. And I think that will be the difference because whoever wins that game is going to get. I mean, it's going to be hard to keep the other guy from winning the Heisman if you win the game. And I think Matty Patricia is going to have a big say in this. And he's got an unbelievable connection with these players. I've never seen anything quite like it, to be honest with you. And it's something that he's really enjoying about the college game. And I think it's something that's going to keep him in Columbus for a bit.
Yep. You got anything on this one?
Yeah, just
Intrinsic?
you guys' strength is your pass defense. I mean, all the entire defense is good, but pass defense specifically, like Urban Meyer talked about it. There's no indicators in what coverage you guys are in.
Right.
Mendoza is supposed to be this nerd that knows all this stuff, but you guys aren't showing indicators. So good luck. He's gonna have to be really good after that ball is snapped, recognizing what those safeties and corners are
Yep.
doing.
Absolutely. And I'm just super excited and confident. And again, respect for Indiana. Mendoza, really good quarterback, but I trust our defense and Matt Patricia to handle business. The Exennial Broadcast Network, thanks for the $4.99. UM fans say crying Ryan, but Sharon is the only man crying in a press conference. Yeah, the whole soft mantra, the whole crying Ryan, all that crap is just fabricated, just psychological warfare, from the cheating to everything. And all they had this game, and it's funny, Nevada, your boy who was on Friday, the Michigan fan, Dev kept calling him out on the fact that they kept pointing to last year's game. That's what they've been doing, pointing to last year's game and trying to tap into the psychological warfare like Dave Portnoy does. That's all they have. And so it's just everything that transpired yesterday on the field was just beautiful because it just put the mirror in their face like, no, you were projecting this whole time. The softest thing you can do is concoct an elaborate cheating scandal to finally get off the 20-year schneid of losing to your rival. So they were just projecting what they actually were this whole time, fellas.
Oh yeah, I mean Sharon Moore. I mean, yeah, the whole crying during the Harbaugh thing and the whole stuff, and yeah, just it's it's funny when something happens, I like to talk about gambling. Like we'll bet fighting, UFC fights a lot, and somebody will knock somebody out, and it just be like the luckiest punch, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? Well, Michigan lucky punched us last year. A lot of things went wrong. It was Mimi, but this year, you know what? We settled all the counts, and it's all over from because what do they have now? What do they have? They got. I mean, seriously, like because before they could hang on to that, that their little
Right.
win streak, their strategic retreat in 2020 and their cheating scandal and then their meme win. Now they got nothing. We stole their soul, and I love every minute of it. So I'm a happy man.
Yeah, something I just think about with Sharon Moore a lot is Matt Weiss was his co-equal. Matt Weiss, the guy who worked on JJ McCarthy's mechanics, which we see now. It's just like I don't even think he was the guy in line for the job when Harbaugh finally left because he got caught regardless. Had Matt Weiss stayed, I just think he's literally the fall guy. And I think that's what we're seeing. 7-5 and then now at 9-3 in the Cheez It Bowl or whatever. He's a dead man walking in Ann Arbor.
Extend him, though, please. Extend
Yeah.
him. All right, Derek, 8688. Thanks for the $5.99. Hey guys, you think Iggy got talked to after the pick and helmet taken off? I get celebrating, but that could cause penalties. OH, Nevada?
I
I don't know. I honestly, Iggy, yes, him and Matthews. I love the energy they bring. I mean, both of them boys are dogs. They're fearless. They're physical. They don't back down from anybody. They are the energy of this team. And so I don't mind it, man. I don't know if they were taught to or not. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. What y'all think?
Yeah, look, I'm sure they got a reminder about that stuff, but it was the end of the game, and he was well aware of the situation in terms of he knew as soon as he took it off, he was going to get it, but it didn't matter. He'd gotten that pick. They weren't getting the ball back. They weren't coming back in terms of winning that game. And I 100% agree with you. They are the juice for that defense, and they're the edge, the edge that we play with distinctly comes from those two guys, and I don't want them to change a thing. So I love it.
Nope. You got anything on this intrinsic?
Yeah, I just believe he was smart enough to know that it didn't matter in that situation. That's why he did it. I don't think he would have done it in the second quarter or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Well said. All right. Looks like we got the last super chat. Aman of Manatharan. Thanks for the 5. Go Bucks. Love this win. Love this team. Love that Bo Jackson outgained the entire scum offense. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. I can't believe I dropped the ball. I meant to mention that. Amazing. 166 to 163. Class performance over a pathetic program. OH Nevada? Yeah, really quickly, I'll just say this, man. And I made a post about this on my page. Bo Jackson deserves so much love. True freshman running back from Ohio. Okay. He was out there so unfazed, unflappable. I mean, cool, calm, collected, patient running the ball, physical, ball security was elite. Catching a ball out of the backfield in that weather was elite. Putting his head down and running over number 20. It was a 2-play sequence. He caught the ball and got a first down. Bold dude over. Number 20 got up trying to pop off, like whatever, trying to intimidate him. Next play is when he had that run where he jukes boy. I forget the linebacker.
Jimmy Roller.
Yes, Roder goes around the corner for the big gain, and he's in 20's face, like, yeah, well, what now? Beautiful sequence, bright future. Love me some Lamar Bo Jackson, fellas.
Yeah, he's better than I thought he'd be, and I thought he was going to be really good. I thought he would have a hard time coming back from that injury this year. I thought maybe next year he could be back, but he's back, and he's even better than I thought he was. And I'm not saying he was the reason we won yesterday, but I'm not sure we went without him as comfortably. And he was magnificent and bright future at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think having Donaldson too, I mean, just someone that can bruise it and get a couple short yards too is nice as well. So yeah. But I thought the play where he juked Jimmy, if you guys haven't seen that, you gotta rewatch that play.
Yeah.
Where he busted that huge run off to the right. That was great.
Oh yeah, I've rewatched that several times. It was great. It was absolutely great. Loved it. We got one more super chat popped in. Pella Galerius, thanks for the 10. Says BMO, tell Nevada Buck I was singing Mr. Brightside at the big house. Coming out of my cage, I was doing just fine. Tell Nevada Buck should sing Mr. Brightside for us. What? Okay.
Oh man. Oh God. Oh man.
I don't know if Nevada's going to do that, but
I don't know. I don't know if we're ready for that just yet. It's like I got to be honest with you. I hate that song. I hate that song because when I hear that song, I think of Michigan, and I just not a fan. Just not a fan of that song. I'll sing "Jump Around," "Jump Around."
Yeah,
jump around.
That's a classic.
Jump up, or even crisscross. Jump. Everybody.
Yeah, crisscross. That's classic.
Exactly. I'll be the Daddy Mac, and you be the Mac Daddy.
Doom. Let me throw my backwards jersey on. Some of y'all too young. YouTube or Google crisscross. Jump. You'll be pleased. It still holds up to the day. But
jump.
Trenzy, what you got on this comment, on this real quick before you say anything? My 9-year-old son, when he's watching the game with me, he said, "Daddy, why are they singing that song?" I said, "I don't know. It's dumb. It's stupid." And he agreed. But anyway, Trenzy, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, it just when they were showing the camera of them singing Mr. Brightside, there was a lot of red in those stands.
It was
like Ohio State took over that stadium. Crazy.
Yeah, and we noticed that as well. And yeah, it was great. It was great. Listen, we got a whole week of more coverage, more basking in the glory of this win. And this was a great show, great start to the week. And so had a lot of fun. It's always great having Intrinsic on the show, man. You do a great job, sir. Just want to let you know that, man. So any last words before we hop off of here and get ready? I'm hungry, man. I need some wings. Stilly Matt, you always talking about B Moses need some. I need some wings tonight. Is Rooster still open? Right? Yeah, they open. I need some wings. Anyway, what y'all got?
I just want to say thank you to Intrinsic. Thank you, man. I love your takes and your insight and the fact that you're so generous with your time. I just want to say thank you on behalf of B. Moses and myself and the entire Buckeye Scoop family for you being here. We don't ever think we ever take it for granted. We really appreciate you being here.
Agreed.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me both on. I always have fun watching your guys' show too. And yeah, thanks for handling business in Ann Arbor on Saturday. That made my weekend. Amazing. Good stuff. You guys enjoy to celebrate the week for it for sure.
Definitely. And we'll have content and, our thoughts on the Indiana matchup as we lead up to it. Again, we're going to bask in this, but we're also going to make sure we touch on that matchup. But anyway, listen, Buckeye Scoop family, Buckeye Nation, we love you. If you have not liked the video, do that and subscribe on your way out. We will see y'all tomorrow. Go Bucks. Peace.